we see climate action as the opportunity of a lifetime. It is the opportunity to start to invest in a trajectory of economic growth that will give us sustainability, will give us prosperity, will give the young people of the continent jobs, and will drive growth and growth in incomes. So listening to you today, how your plans to transform the resource-dependent nature of the past mode of development into a new drive for industrialization shows the world how change can happen. And that positions this discussion perfectly for the negotiation that is still to come in the context of the COP. We will be talking about the global stocktake. We will be talking about how, as a global community, we can shift our economic model to a new trajectory, to a new opportunity, and an opportunity that is based on changing investment into new emerging technologies and driving growth. So we want to congratulate you on behalf of Dr. Sultan Al Jaber, COP President. He has asked me to convey to you his deep appreciation for the initiatives that you have taken, the contribution that it brings to the negotiations of the new climate agreement, and that it lifts everybody's expectations of what we can achieve here. So thank you very much for that. I also want to say, and in relation to President Ruto's initiative and his leadership at the Africa Climate Summit, that the Africa Climate Summit was one of those watershed events that marked the change in the mentality that we saw for growth. And that is the opportunity that the United Arab Emirates, where Dr. Sultan announced that the United Arab Emirates would be committing $4.5 billion for clean energy investment in Africa. That's not one of those climate pledges that evaporates over the years. That's a commitment. And to demonstrate that that commitment is moving, already today, $2.6 billion has already been allocated in partnerships between Masdar, AMEA, Etihad Credit, and Abu Dhabi Fund, and the Africa 50 initiative. This is going to drive 1.8 gigawatts of new green power into the African grid over the next few years. This will be the basis of the new green industrialization. This is what will provide the energy framework to kickstart all of the activities that you have been discussing today. So it is an honor for the UAE to be engaged with you in this effort. We're inspired by your dedication and your leadership, and we're looking forward to a very successful COP with your partnership to bring this new perspective to the world and to drive this new agreement in a way that creates real change.
Africa is much more. Africa is about 60% of the world's renewable energy resources. Africa is about 40% of the world's mineral resources necessary for energy transition. Africa holds 65% of the world's uncultivated arable land that can be used for smart agriculture. Africa has the largest natural carbon sinks anywhere in the world. And much more importantly, Africa has the youngest population with the potential for the future to be the largest market. And we are doing everything to consolidate Africa into one market that we can profile with 1.4 billion people and a GDP of 3.5 trillion. That is the new narrative of our continent. The conversation we are going to have in this meeting this afternoon is about investment opportunities, is about financing opportunities, and is about access to market. Those are the three most important things we are going to have a conversation about, and it requires us to collaborate, to work together, to build a huge consortium of collaborators. And we are inviting the rest of the world to look at Africa as a continent of opportunity. And we are packaging these opportunities, as I said, we are changing policies, we are aligning regulations, and we are providing incentives so that we can use our renewable energy to add value to our iron ore so that we can export green steel. We are using our renewable energy to process bauxite so that we can export green aluminium. We are using our renewable energy for smart agriculture so that we can have green agricultural products into the market. What is our ask of the rest of the world? That we have to engage in the business of reconfiguring, re-engineering a new international financial architecture that will make sure that we have adequate resources, we have concessional financing, we can de-risk our investments using globally accessible, affordable, and long tenure resources that will be made available as we have a conversation. And I am very happy that in this COP, finally, we are all agreed. It is no longer about if, it is when we finally reform the international financial architecture so that it is fit for purpose, so that it serves the needs and the nuances of the current situation globally, especially in the global south. We've also agreed, finally, that we are going to have a conversation as to new revenue, new interventions that will give us new sources of revenue for us to finance climate action. I am very happy that progress is now being made, even around loss and damage, that finally we have commitment of resources that will ensure that interventions that are necessary for loss and damage come into being. EcoCloud, one of Africa's largest green data centers using geothermal steam, are setting up what will become Africa's largest data center with ICT load capacity of 60 megawatts. They are going to be spending $600 million in this project that will be 100% powered by green energy. In our midst, we have Amos Siwoy, Chief Executive. Is he here? We have Ribingale John Anthony, Consulting Engineer from that space. I don't know whether he's here. And we have Joseph Njenga, Chief Executive Officer. Are they here? Thank you very much. Those gentlemen are working on data centers that will be powered by green. Last, AMIA Africa from the UAE, in collaboration with Geothermal Development Company, involved in drilling and development of geothermal fields. Phase 1 investment to reach $800 million, anticipated 200 megawatts of geothermal power. In our midst, we have His Excellency Hussein Al Nawais, Chairman of AMEA from UAE. Can we round of applause for that gentleman there? And Mr. Paul Ngugi, Chief Executive of GDC, is in the house. Thank you very much. Finally, the US-led Green Energy Supply Chain initiative of $568 million concessional facility that will be shared between Brazil, India, and Kenya. This facility is a competitive facility, and on behalf of Africa, we intend to put our best foot forward so that we win this facility. It is a concessional facility, and we are willing to share with our other brothers in the continent on this facility of $568 million to unlock the potential of green energy around our continent. I did mention these investment opportunities that were concluded today in this COP as part of our work to confirm to the world that in Africa there are real opportunities for green investment. There are companies that are stepping forward, even as we have a conversation of how to de-risk investment in our region. There are companies that are already stepping forward to invest in Africa because they see the tremendous potential, the tremendous opportunity, the tremendous business case that exists in our continent. I want to congratulate my colleagues, heads of state, the President of Zambia for the many steps they have had to make to stabilize their country. President Tinubu here, who had to make very difficult decisions to get rid of subsidies that were hurting their economies. We all have to make difficult decisions to get Africa moving. And I want to promise here that we will gather the courage to make sure that we make the right decisions so that Africa can march into the future as an equal partner of other regions of the world as we tackle the challenge of climate change and as we create opportunities for our young people so that our young people don't have to get into rickety boats to go to other destinations. We want to create jobs. We want to create opportunities in our continent so that our young people can enjoy working from their continent. Indonesia's Pertamina and UAE's Mazda jointly are investing in geothermal project, and phase one, they will be investing $1 billion, and phase one will generate 300 megawatts of geothermal power. I don't know whether Mohammed Jamel Ramani is here, or right here, from Mazda. We have Paul Ngugi of GDC, I don't know whether he's here, right there. And then we have Julfi Hadi, President and Director CEO of Pertamina from Indonesia, right there. Can we have a round of applause for those gentlemen for concluding this investment of close to $1 billion in renewable energy that will generate energy that will go into electric motor vehicle manufacture, that will go into solar panel manufacture, and that will go into leather manufacture. Green leather, green solar panels, green EV motor vehicles. Let me also make two more announcements. United Green and Kenya Development Corporation also investing in smart agriculture, 15,000 hectares of climate smart, high carbon sequestering precision agriculture, and broad acre row cropping, an investment of $275 million in this smart agriculture. You remember I told you Africa is home to 65% of uncultivated arable land. Do we have the people involved in this program? They are right here, right there. Those are the great people who have concluded that program, $275 million of investment in smart agriculture. Let's round of applause for them. The second investment that I want to announce here is a 35 megawatt geothermal investment of $110 million by Globelec in geothermal energy, again in a place called Menengai, with an investment of $110 million. We have Mike Shole here, who concluded that agreement this morning, and Eddie Njoroge. Are they here in our midst? We can give them a round of applause. Right there. Can we give them another round of applause? Thank you very much. Again, real opportunity, real investment concluded in this COP27 as a precursor for what will be done in Nigeria, what will be done in Senegal, what will be done in Cote d'Ivoire, and in every other country, including Burundi in East Africa. I want to confirm here that we are already in discussion with Burundi. They have huge reserves of nickel. And we want to work with Burundi so that instead of exporting nickel as a raw material, we can see how we can collaborate, provide renewable energy so that we can process nickel in Burundi and be able to export finished products for manufacture of all the items that we want to manufacture in that space. Let me also make an announcement here, again, of real opportunity, real investment that have been concluded in this scope, so that when we say, as the continent of Africa, we are a continent of opportunity, we are actually laying bare those opportunities for the world to see, for the world to appreciate, and for the world to come along with us, because we have real investment that will change the course of history. And these are green investments that are in tandem with saving the planet.